I hope everybody's here. Just give me a second, and I'm just finding myself on my own channel, and we're going to continue today doing some watercolor painting in the book called Find Color by Gugeli, and I've been having a great time in this. So we're going to build up some more color in here. Going to work mostly on the ship and maybe some of the sails again today. And we'll have a little chat at the same time. So, how's that, everybody? Talk about whatever we like. And let me just see if I can find myself. So, hold on here. There I am. There I am. I'm just going to turn off that sound and open up the chat so I can see what's going on and everybody's there. And thanks for coming by. So, if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. If you've never been here before, thank you for stopping by and checking out my channel. My name is Jane. I call myself Living Skies Coloring Creative and Vintage, and I do that because I love coloring books. I love to create things, and I'll show you maybe some stuff that I have made in the past, and I love vintage items. So let's get started. I've got a little bit of water here, some fresh water. I've got my brushes out. And hey there, Lori. View twisted my arm and told me I had to get on today. And yeah, I've got a couple of hours I can spend before I have to get myself ready to go out of the house for a little bit. So, yeah. Yeah, she's persistent, that girl. Anyways, let's hey Yolanda. How are ya? Yo, yo. Oh, so I'm there it is. Still have my palette that I've been using. And I'm just going to add a little more of the red to these sails because I liked View's idea with the red sails. I just kept thinking to myself, red sails in the sunset, which is a very old song and probably most people wouldn't remember. But I'm just trying to find the right brush that I want to do this with. Give me 1 second here. I think I put it away and I just have to find it again. This one'll do. I have a bunch of brushes that I hold together. Yeah, this one'll do. It's just a little bit longer. Yep. Good morning, View. And yeah, they look really pretty with the red sails, and it gives more color to this. So I'm just going to add a little more red to the front to give it a little more definition. I might leave some of these in the background the way they are, just to show that they're a little more in the background. And then I'm going to get working on the wood a little bit. So, oh, I should show you what I was doing yesterday. Yeah, well, yeah, with watercolors, you kind of want to start really faint and pale and then build up layer on layer on layer, getting darker and darker. But I'll show you something I was playing with yesterday. This is just my watercolor on some good watercolor paper. And you can see I was playing with lots of water and lots of paint and letting it drip and soak into the paper. And because this is actually good watercolor paper, it does allow the paint to move a little bit. So I'm going to play with this a little later on. Thank you, Devin. That's what I mean by coloring and creative. Sometimes I do things that are actually just mine. This is I cannot take any honors for actually drawing this. Sometimes I think people think I actually draw my coloring pages, and I don't. The majority of them, they're drawn by other artists, which I try and name. Thank you, Devin. Hey, Amy. Hi, how are you doing? So yeah, let's got some fresh water over here, and my palette. And this is the red that I had been using, so I'm just going to water it down again a little bit. See, it's all dried up. Don't go to waste. Give it a little fresh water in here. And then let's see if I can stain these sails a little darker. Yes, dragons marched, the March of Dragons. I'm thinking about doing that. I have some good dragon books. And I've actually got I've already got 2 hashtags done already for the month of March. I've got the, oh my goodness. Good versus Evil 2026 being put on by Piggy Pens and Holly Berries, and one side takes evil and one side takes good. And it's always Holly that likes to be the bad girl because she likes those really gory coloring books. And then Piggy has taken the position of being the good girl. So last month I was on the good side. This month I decided to do kind of a gargoyle in his armor, or I guess more of an orc in his armor, I should say, because it's war versus peace this month on that hashtag. So here we go. Just get it in a little bit lightly. Oh yeah, I've got a great dragon book that I got from what was it? Coloring Heaven, I think, and it was like dragons from around the world. So I'm gonna pull that one out because I've done a couple in there, but I haven't done a lot, and there's some pretty nice ones. Funny ones too. Different ones. Okay. uh, okay. Sounds like fun. Let's do some dragons. And then I guess there's like what did View say? March has lots of names. Mytho, Madness, March. Yeah. Yeah, you could be doing all sorts of things in March. I'm going to be a little busy this up and not this week, next weekend. I'm actually driving to BC starting Friday morning to make a Saturday celebration of my parents' 70th wedding anniversary. Thank goodness they don't watch my channel because it's supposed to be a surprise. So don't any of you guys tell them, okay? Which book, Devon? Oh, yeah. Oh, Devon, you're just trying to stir up trouble, I think. I'm not. Yeah, I don't mind Jasmine Beckett Smith. I don't have a lot of her stuff. I'm not necessarily drawn to it as what I would choose for myself as a favorite. But I understand why people like her work. Just putting a little more red up there. I don't mind that they're not the same shade, so oh, March Through Mythographic. Oh yes. That's another one. That's a whole nother thing, isn't it? Actually. The mythographic books don't really like water a lot, so at least not the copies that I've got. And I think, there are just other books that I like to color in. Yes, she does. Well, the faces are so open to interpretation, really. That's looking good. What do you think? Oh, Freaky February, okay. Yes, Devin, you've done a number of pages in that book. I've got a couple of them, but as I said, I'm not as pleased with the paper in those as I am in my other books. And right now, I'm really into the watercoloring, and then in my other Japanese Korean book, the Four Seasons by Green Ivy, I'm really enjoying the pencils in that because they're just feel so smooth on there, especially my oil-based pencils. Now, I have to say, I used my oil-based, hi so much glitter. Carrie, thank you. I don't remember everybody's names, I'm sorry. Details sometimes fly from my head, and I just put it down to menopause and age. So there you go. Anyways, where was I? Oh, yeah. I've been doing a lot of coloring in my spooky book, and I decided to try a page with my oil-based pencil crayons, my Speer Farbens, like those are the ones I've been using in my Korean, the Four Seasons by Green Ivy, and they didn't work as nice on that paper. I'm just not as pleased with the oil-based pencils on the spooky coloring book paper as I am with the wax-based pencils, which include Prismas, Star Joys. I've got some Pastellos, but those were working really nice on the paper, and the oil-based ones just didn't seem to give me the color, the layers that I wanted. So there you go. And how can you have a 4 to 5-year-old whip view? I saw that. That thing would be screaming at me from the shelf every time I opened up another page. I have a hard time having this and another page or two going on. Yes, you have had a couple-year-old one too, but as I said, those things would have been screaming at me every time I opened up another book to color in. So you didn't know that coloring pages talked or screamed, eh? Polychromos, okay. I don't have any of those. I'd like to try some of those. See, I'm just giving it, I'm not painting it too red. Like this is what I'm using, just that little bit of watered down paint right there that I'm dipping my brush in. So it's just basically staining the paper again. And if I want, I can go back and put in a little more color. But that's, yeah, that's kind of where we need to be with all of those. Embrace the whips. Yes. I don't mind, like I say, I don't mind having a couple. But oh my goodness, you have so much going on at one time. I couldn't possibly keep my head straight as to what I wanted to do with each of those pages. Because I do have plans of a sort. Not necessarily plans that I have to stick to, but definitely plans. Oh, good. The pullouts was fun. I had fun with the pullout that came with this one. Okay, I'm going to change brushes and just get a slightly bigger brush because I want to start painting some of this wood on the boat here. I've got some brown over there. I want just a little wider brush so I don't have to fuss with it too much. And I have a square one that I can use. Come on out. I think it's this one. Oh, there it is. That's the one I want. Yes, just about the size of the plank. Oh, a dragon page in one of these. I think could be a dragon in this one too. I think is this the red one or the green one? This is the red one. So there you go. All right, so I'm gonna build up some brown on these planks here. You see I had put in some shade, but I want to kind of get some of this too. And you can see I'm kind of don't mind. There's some holes like those. And I'm going to try and get it into this. I'm not sure what I'm doing with that. I'm tempted to make that like gold, in gold paint. So I'm not going to go over it in brown too much if I can. Let's just see if I can try making some grain. Oh, okay. That would be great, Devin. I'd love to do that. Just remember, when View says she wants to do a buddy color with you, it usually means she wants to see what you're doing first, and then she'll color along. I'm sorry, View. I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you, girl. She's the one that convinced me to get on this early this morning. And that's a fact, too. sitting having my coffee nice and quietly, and View gets back to me with about a message I'd sent her yesterday. But that's okay. Love you, View. If I wasn't giving you a hard time, you know how it is. If you can't tease each other, it's no fun. 10, 11? Sure. Hold on. I think I did that one, actually, because I've done most of the ones in the front. This one. Yep, this one. That's a gorgeous page. I really liked doing this one. I had a lot of fun with it. This one, yes, I did watercolors on this one also, because I can tell, because I added watercolor, different colors of green to the watercolor scales, or not watercolors, to the dragon scales, and his hair, and then I've done pencil on top of it. No, but I'm pretty sure there's another dragon picture in here. Hold on, let me look. Oh, let me look. Oh yeah, there's a couple of them. Hold on. Hold on. So, let me see. Pages 96 and 97. And then page 119. Is that a dragon? Page 56, I think, is a dragon face. So let's take a look. 56. Okay, here's 56, which is a single page. And it's a fella and then like a dragon kind of behind him. And then 96, 97, that's a really nice one. It's a biggie. Here we go. With the dragon central on the page and then the young girl here. And then the other one I saw, I'm just looking at the fold out to help me here. Oh yeah, page 119, the very last one. This one, which is a kind of a big dragon going this way. So that's, again, that's a single page. Well, which one do you guys like? So there's the single page, there's this double page here. Let me see if I can find another one. Nope, that's not a dragon. Okay, that's the one that I mentioned here. No, it won't. It won't be 5 years. Okay, well, thanks for stopping by, Carrie. I'll get back to my watercoloring here in just a second. That's not a dragon. That's not a dragon. There's the big snake. You could call that a dragon, but I like the dragons better. So what do you think? This one, the double page, or this one, the single page? I don't have the green book. I only have the red book. I think View has both books. Now I've got other dragon pages that I can do, like in other books, so I don't have to do this one. Anyways, I think I kind of like this one actually. Could do a lot with that. And that's pages 97 and 98. Yeah. Or 96 and 97. Yeah. Yeah, 96 and 97. So you guys think about it. You like this one too better, Amy? You know, and then you got the little girl down here we can do something with. This whole background, there's lots of stuff. 96, 97 in the red book. Gotcha. Okay, that'll be a buddy color. In the meantime, I'm going to get back to doing this. And get this done. Time Traveler Little Girl. Possibly. Or Master of Dragons. So now I just put these clips on my pages just to kind of keep them held down, if you're wondering. So they don't kind of flip up all the time on me when I'm painting. So you can see that's kind of dried up a little bit, giving me some wood-like textures there. Okay. Now we just have to have it done by the end of March then, since it's a dragon page, I guess. You think you're going to get it done? We'll see. We'll see. And I'm going to drag this brush through the oars that I have here just so that it looks the same. Yeah, you can make it a whip. Sure you can. Get started. Come on, get in there. There we go. Just trying to use up some of this paint I have in my tray. And you know how you can make mud? You know, when you mix the wrong colors together? Well, that mud, if you actually make it in your watercolor tray, I think actually can help you, because if you're making it with the colors you're using in here, it actually is using all the colors in here and it doesn't look so much like mud. So this brown that I'm using, I've got a little bit of burnt sienna in it and a little bit of chocolate, but there's some red, some blue, and some green that I've mixed in there also. That I just using up the paint in my tray is more what's going on. Adding it to the brown. And so it just becomes more cohesive, I think. So there we go. That's why I've done that. And I'm just trying to pick out a little bit more of her fur there and not get so much brown on that. Because I might make that white yet, but we'll use perhaps Poscas or something. That's what I used on Ah, this guy, yeah, that's Posca pen that I made his fur out of. And it worked really good. And then I just added a few more gel strokes on, gel pen strokes on top of that. So we're gonna keep going. So what is everybody else up to this day? Devin, the sun was shining beautifully here yesterday. It got to +7. For those of you that centigrade, those of you that live in the States, Devin and I both live in Canada. She probably has as much snow as I do, and being at +7 in the beginning of March like this is joy. Now today the sun doesn't seem to be out as much, not quite as warm, but definitely not as cold as it has been. Oh, you got sun today? Oh, we're socked in with a whole bunch of gray today for some reason, which isn't. It's a little more gloomy, but still not as cold as it could be. So I won't complain too much. So today I might come back later, but today I am actually off going out to my hairdresser's, who has asked me to help him with the TikTok video that he wants to do. TikTok. And yeah, I have a lot of hair. And in fact, it's almost like having dog hair for hair, but I get a lot. It's really thick. It's kind of partially curly, but it has its own natural wave. So he's asked me to come in today, and he's making a TikTok video and styling my hair at the same time because he wants to promote his business. And yeah, he asked me about that the last time I was in getting a haircut, and I said, sure, just give me a call. And yeah, he gave me a call. So I'm going to go get my hair styled today. Oh, my hair is extremely thick. Extremely thick. I can make it stand on end without even trying. And it has a mind of its own. So if anybody's got hair like that, you know what I'm talking about. See, and I'm trying to make the grain go in the direction of the planks, because that's how it would be. If you were a carpenter, the wood grain would run the direction of the length of the planks. This one won't have quite as much detail because it's a little more obscure. Yes. Oh, thank you, View. Yes, it grows very fast. To keep it short, I need to have it cut like every 5 to 6 weeks, and I've been trying to grow it out a little bit, so I've been waiting like 8 weeks. So it's now not like short like it used to be, and it's starting to flip out, and I can feel like I can actually put my fingers in some hair at the back of my head. I had kept it very short back there. You get really hot and sweaty back there, you know, at a certain age, right? Especially when you sleep, and it was just easier to not have it. So So I think that's working. Ooh, Kirby Dragon Eye. I haven't done that one yet either. And I think I saw Nimi's Nico Simi Colors page 2 view. A little more color up on this here, so I didn't wet it so much, because there's that inlay right there that I'll have to play with after this is all dry and pick it out. Somewhat similar to what I did here with these railings with you the last time. Just kind of go in there with a little bit of a darker color to kind of make it stand out. Give it an edge. That's what defines a lot of paintings. You know, I look at a lot of different people's coloring and, you know, for different ideas. I don't like to copy what they've done, but I like to get ideas on methods and color combinations sometimes. And just, you know, seeing how different artists approach a page and what they think about. It's interesting to me. Now, I don't pick out colors prior to starting a color page. I have an idea of what I want, like, you know, a sunset or a blue sky. And like you kind of saw with me with this here, I knew that I wanted this and this, and wasn't quite sure about their clothing. But get that down and then start working with it is what I do. I'm going to start putting my brush in my coffee if I don't watch out. Just gonna do a little a touch of gray in this. So I'm just gonna pick out this boat down here. Well, I've just got a little bit of not too much color on my brush. Same with this. Just darken it a little bit. Trying to give it a little form, that's all. The other thing I like to do is I like to observe items in nature and how light plays against them. So I like looking at a lot of different photographs when I'm out, even driving. I like looking at the light in the sky to see how the sun is playing. I agree. Supply colorists. Yeah, I'll use what I have. It's not, I don't have to go find something to do it with. Make do. So I did that. Let's give this railing here. I don't want it as brown as that. As dark brown as I picked that out to be. I want it to be a little grayer. And it looks more in the distance when it's more gray and not so defined. And again, I almost stick my brush in my coffee. you're right, View. It is a whole process. You know, makes you use your stuff a little more too. You know, that's the other thing. Don't know if I want to do that, but I think I'm going to just bring this gray down here and just make that a little bit. Yeah, that's more what I want. I can go back to this. And I need some more paint. So I'm going to get a little more burnt sienna. Doo, 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 doo. This one. Put it in there. So I tend to take paint, pull paint from my tray that I have here with my brush, like this. Oh, a little bit of this Indian red here. And it's pretty thick on my brush right now, but then when I put it over here in my little egg tray, I'll put this one here. See, it's a much redder brown, and I will mix that with this one. Whoa, that needs probably a little more brown in it now, but you get what I'm talking about. I'm using same colors through the whole thing to make a better color. Oh yeah, that's better. I just added a little bit of yellow ochre to that, but it needs to be watered down. Oh. Found 3 dragon whips that you have? Oh my goodness. Okay. So you see, by using a slightly different color than what I put down before, I'm going to create a feeling of layers of wood. At least that's what I hope. So this is how, again, I'm not a teacher. This is just how I'm approaching this page in this book. And I hope that some of my mistakes and some of my helpful hints might help you. Pull that. See how that's already standing out. And this paint isn't really dark yet. It can go much darker. Yeah, so anyways, I was talking about I'm going out and he's gonna style my hair. So after I get done here, I need to have a shower, make sure my hair's all nice and clean, put on some decent makeup. Don't need to style my hair, but I don't want to go barefaced. And yeah, get ready to rush out and get that done. And then maybe when I get back, I can show you what he did, because I'm pretty sure when he styles it, it'll be for like an evening out, so to speak. Might be a little wild, so we'll see what happens. See what happens. And then maybe if I can let you know at some time what the TikTok video is. So yeah, It's always fun to do things like that. Oh, yeah, well, maybe later today and only once. You won't see me looking like much of a model. Usually. And I'm just going to put on a different top because with my hair and the fact that most of it's white these days, I think, maybe I'll put on a white top so it doesn't look like I'm covered in hair. Because really, it doesn't matter how often I go back to the hairdressers, there looks like a small animal on the floor by the time they sweep it up. Oh, sorry, View. I didn't get that. So Nico's in front of the camera now. Okay. I see what you're saying. But yeah, so I can only stay on for a certain length of time and then I need to get myself ready. And then if I get back in a decent amount of time and there's not too many people on, I might come back on and do some more painting. You like that View? It's not, it's not hard. You just kind of have to be a little patient, and kind of think about what everything's doing. Now I'll come back on those oars and those will get darker, so any of the lines that you're seeing of the wood grain that's going through the oars at the moment will disappear. And you can see like the outline of her furs getting a little more defined. Like every layer you put down, even if it's faint, actually does help. And you'd be surprised at what just a tiny bit of paint, the difference it can make. I'm not applying a lot necessarily on all of these, but I want to make sure there's certain edges that are covered, and it'll make a difference. I will. I'll show you my hair after. I'll make sure that you can see it. My finger's getting better too. It's not too bad. It's mostly healed over. Got a little bit of dry skin on the top of it now, but I want to just leave it. But most of the stitches were from about here to here. It's a little red, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. It's probably not healed all the way through because he took out the cyst right there on my knuckle. So, and it's been difficult to bend it lately. And every time I do, by mistake, I yell a little bit. Ah, the geese are coming back. Yes. Well, I get geese actually that fly over my house in the morning as they fly from their nesting grounds out to the fields on the outskirts of town. Farmers' fields where they've got seeds lying fallow land for them to go and just graze on. So every morning I hear them fly over, and every evening about yeah, about supper time or just before, you'll hear them. You'll hear them coming back. It's kind of like, they stay out there as long as they can. Days are getting longer, so they're getting up earlier and staying out longer. I don't get any of that on my cars. It's funny. It's it's when they're down on the ground and they're in big flocks that I see a lot of that, but not so much when they fly by. Maybe they're flying a lot further when they're flying over your place view, so they have to go on the go. Stanley Park in Victoria, or not Victoria, in Vancouver, BC. Beautiful place. Always had lots of artists and things and other outdoor events there. Beautiful, beautiful park with really old trees. And oh my gosh, the geese would take over at some point, and you really had to watch where you were walking. Because Canada geese, and we got big ones. We don't have the lesser Canada geese. We have the greater Canada geese, which is taller. Um, yeah, they can leave some pretty big turds, basically, lying around. Excuse my language. Got that there. That railing looks a little light. I'm going to give it some color. Might need I want a little, not so red. So we'll add a little black to that. Bring it up there. Yeah, they poop when they walk. Thanks, Devin. I'm just going to do a little bit on the railings again. Give it like this. You can see how that's quite a bit lighter now. So I'm going to darken it up. Add some more paint. Add another layer. Now I'm going to leave this part of the railing there if I can. Just want to get in here a little more again. And see, I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I've added a little bit of black to that color I'd been using. So it's a little darker. Actually, it was almost a navy blue I added to it, not black. That color. It's graded up quite nicely. Here we go. See? Just a little different base of color. Oh, that's how you can tell how much hair I got. It keeps getting in the shot. I didn't notice that. There we go. And then this. I'll be adding more to this wood, probably some smaller details, but it is coming along. I really like the way it's turning out here. But yeah, I'll probably take like a little tiny brush like this and do some really fine lines on there. Define this a little better. Tiny bit of paint. Yeah, I can't say that I've had goose. I've had duck. I'm not a fan so much of that real gamey taste, but I think sometimes that's got more to do with how it's prepared than the actual meat itself. So, I'd be willing to try. I don't know that I'd go out for a meal and ask for it, but I'd be willing to try. They are huge by the pound. Oh, yeah, they have lots of fat. Save that goose fat and use it to grease your bread pans. Or you cook potatoes in it. It's supposed to be good. It has lots of flavor. It's like saving your bacon drippings, using that to line your bread pans with for extra flavor. So I'm trying to paint. And watch what you guys are doing. Oh yes. Well, that's where all the flavor is. I don't like the really lean steaks. I like nice fatty steaks that, that fat gets all grilled and crispy and yeah. That's me. That's coming along. You can see the wood parts getting a little darker, and you can see the more of the sky is staying lighter there. The darker you make the wood, the lighter the sky or area in between looks, just by contrast. And I'm not trying to paint over that really dark line. I'm just trying to put a little touch of this color back in here so that they show up a little better. And it'll dry lighter. It'll look more like these railings that I'm putting in now. I've got a lot of water in there. Ooh, Tyler Florence. Oh yes, he would be a cutie pie to meet. Crossover veggie and vegan eater. Okay. I tend now to eat a lot of proteins because I feel I need them, and I prefer just a lot of vegetables and fruit. Other than that, last night I made a nice meal. I had gotten some fresh Atlantic salmon at the store yesterday. So instead of putting it in the freezer, I went, well, it's, I'm going to eat it. It's fresh. Let's eat it now. In Saskatchewan, which is pretty landlocked, you tend to eat your fish as fresh as you can. So anyways, a couple of fillets. I had got some dill mustard from a local manufacturer. Like small town Saskatchewan, the place of the town is called Gravelburg. But anyways, delicious. Had no oil in it. It's just basically mustard and dill ground up, but in a kind of a moist application, like a spreadable mustard. Smells delicious. It's kind of thing you could just imagine it going on a burger, right? So you can have your sweet taste and your dill taste on your meat all together. But yesterday with the salmon, I just took a spoonful of it and spread it on top of the salmon fillet. Popped those in my air fryer. In the meantime, I had a nice kale salad and some quinoa for the side. And my son thought it was delicious. So hey, can't do better than that. Then if the people you're cooking for... Oh, that's very close. Bourg, Gravelborg. And yeah, there is a boarding school there. But yeah, that's where I got my mustard from. But yeah, as I was saying, the when you're cooking, the best thing that you can hear is that they have enjoyed what you made. So I do a lot of the cooking. I do most of the cooking, and he actually cleans the kitchen for me, which is, he's a sweetheart. Oh yes. I love a whole grain mustard too. So there. Hello, Firehorse. I didn't see you come in. Sorry I missed you there. Oh, there we go. So it's 11. I still have some time. I can still keep playing. So I've got some of that done. Did a little bit highlighting on there. I've got to do this, and I need to do behind the sails, but I'm not sure if I'm finished with the actual sails yet. I could probably add some more to that now, but let me finish these boats. And I'm going to gray that out again a little bit with some blue, this blue in my brown that I had. Add some water so it's not too intense. And let's put this in here. And I'm just gonna quickly do some railings there, just with the end of my brush, like so. I don't want to make them too defined, but I need to see that they're marked at least a little bit. There we go. There. And I'm just going to take those that have the drippy nose, let that go down. There's one. There's another. Let's see, get this in here. So I don't know, have you guys ever looked at things in the distance and how does your eye make that determination that one thing is more behind another. Usually by shadow, also by clarity. I am not sure, Firehurst Art. This is a Chinese coloring book. I think that someone has left because she's crying, and this person's comforting her. She's got pointy ears, so she could be a partial monster spirit girl in the Chinese folklore, but I'm not exactly sure. So, anyways, I was saying things in the distance usually look grayer, don't have as much clarity. So you'll see, like, when you look at, if you're traveling on the highway and you look at cars in the distance, you know that it's a car. But really, if you just look at what's there, all you usually see are two bright lights and kind of a blob. Wuxia? Possible. But it's a book called Find Color by Gugeli, and it's beautiful, beautiful paper, great to watercolor on, and yeah, this is just a particular page that View and I had talked about and we're working on together. My coffee's cold. But I need that. My voice is dying. All right, so I've got the brown in there that I wanted in there. I've got enough brown in there. Now I'm just going to go back to my sails. Hopefully this could be the last application of the red. I don't know that I want to get too much redder, but I do want it to keep spreading, so I'm just going to add a little water to that. Come over here and just... Now this is a nice brush to do the sails with too, because it is square, I can get that line a little better for the cross arms of the sail. What is wuxia? Am I saying it right? Wuxi? Like, I know XI, like XI, yeah, is pronounced G. So is it wuxia? I'll probably use this brush too when I make these little crossbars, when I paint them in. Just the flat one like that is it's easier to get your straight lines. Chinese martial arts fantasy drama. Well, possibly. There's certainly some fighting figures in here. And it does look like fantasy to a certain extent. Just see if I can get that line a little straighter, a little more defined. Yeah, I'm going to guess it's wuxia, because XI is G. That much I know. And the rest is just a really good guess. So layer, 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 layer to get your color. Yeah, there are some guys kind of fighting in these pages here. Do you know the actual story view? I don't know what the actual story is. I haven't looked it up, but I know that you look a lot of things up. I'm sorry, I'm kind of covering the page with my arm, but rather than rotate the book, and I really want to get kind of in here on these edges a little straighter. There, oh yes. This may be the last application for the red. Just okay, and those are lines. Those are rope lines. I can see going up as here, as here. They're very delicate. Not sure if I'm going to be able to get that in with the watercolor, but some of those are so fine. I might do them with just my really teeny tiny fine line Sharpie, which shouldn't go through this if I just shouldn't go through this paper if I'm careful and don't press too hard. I just want to darken up some of those when the picture is done so you'll see them. And the acrylic paint pens are going to be too thick, too wide. You were the kid that kept asking why, right? How come? But you know what? Those are the ones that succeed. Because I'm sure you did, View, because you want to learn. You want to know why. Exploring things is always fun. Just as I'm exploring my watercoloring process at the moment. Yeah, I don't try to press too hard on my Sharpie, but I have one here, this one. It's ultra fine point. And it's like the tiniest point that you can find. Does it say on here the size? No, it doesn't. But it's ultra fine point, and it is tiny. And this is what I've used it for. I'll show you an example here. Yeah, I've used it a bit here on their hair, just so that I could get the texture of their hair, and it hasn't gone through. I also used it here on these lines, just to make them stand out on this ship. And that hasn't gone through, that I can tell. So, yeah, it's pretty forgiving paper. And because it's such a teeny tiny point and I'm not pressing hard, that I don't think it goes through. So I have used it. Did I use it on this one? No, this one was just pencil. I used a little bit here on their mouth and their nose to get that. And maybe a little bit on her eyelashes. But yeah, didn't use it in there. Anyways, that's this is really good paper. You know, it's almost as good as my Arches watercolor paper. So it feels very cottony and very absorbent. What did I do with my brush? There it is. Okay, back to this. And back to the red. So I'm working on this slowly. I said that I could that I'd try and do all of this with you guys. So that's why you don't see that much has changed, because I wasn't really doing anything on it. I did test some. What did I do? Oh yes, I added that little house in because I had forgotten it. I had done it when I was here the first time. Coloring in the boat, I left it. Just adding a little water on top of that to spread it a little more without making it too dark. Thank you, View. But yes, I did say that I would do it all online, unlike the last one, so I'm doing it here. So there you go. Yeah, I think the ultra fine point might only come in black. I'm not sure if it comes in other colors. I can't say that I've ever seen it in another color, but I don't necessarily look for a lot of Sharpies. I do have some, but none of them in the colors are as fine as this tip. They do have what they call a fine tip, but it's still pretty big as far as I'm concerned. Well, for doing hair, that type of detail. Oh yeah. Yes. It's very similar to this one, I think. But I do have Sharpie pens with ink. But they can be reactivated with water. Where is it? I know I've got one. Just give me a second. It's probably in my pen drawer. That's Papermate. Just pull it out, makes it easier to look. So I got some bigger Sharpies in here. No, I don't think I have the pen. I thought I did. I have a Kurosaka. I've got some Papermates. Now that pen would leak, would spread. with water for sure. So, anyways, I use this one for the eyes and the eyelashes, and when we get to there, I'll show you. But yeah, I'm not anywhere near that yet, and I will probably do some of her hair with this pen, similar to the pictures I did show you with the hair previously. Okay, did I finish this one? I finished this one. Yes. Trying to get into the seam. The seam, the bane of my existence, the seam in this book. But it's beautifully bound, it's stitch bound. But they don't line it up really great sometimes. That's the only thing about these that I don't really appreciate. Because this sail ends in the crease, I wanted to make sure that red went all the way into the crease. Like I say, I think that this one I've only seen in black. Other Sharpies, yeah, do come in other colors. Because I've got them, but the nibs are quite a bit bigger. And I don't tend to use them for much of anything anymore. Because they don't mix as nicely as regular alcohol markers. Like the Oohoo's. The Posca bag. It's in the she shed. See, now, like, I couldn't keep anything out in the she shed because it would all freeze. So I have my little she office. And then on the nice days, I'll go outside and do things. I got a couple of plans of maybe doing some stuff outside this year. Maybe using some of my stained papers to make some collages with, and or recover some tins to make some, maybe garbage receptacles for the office. And I got a couple of canvases that that I can use for acrylics, that I might do some acrylic painting outside too. Because that's always fun, but it's messy. It's messy. I don't necessarily want to do it in my office here. My office art room, where I have all my shipping stuff for my little Etsy shop. And now my coloring books. There, that's better. And I think that sail is on the boat behind. So I don't think I want to make it as red as these ones. Yeah, there's no sail on the front of this boat. So if anything, these will be redder in color than those. Aha! Sometimes, Devin, you just can't help it. When you know it's going to look better, you make yourself do it. I'm going to add just because I can. And that's a little bit darker than I thought. I'm going to add a little more red to this sail. Just because I want it to be a darker value than the one behind it at the moment. That's better. That's better. Use up the paint. Not that it goes to waste, but use up the little bit that I've got in this little egg dish right now while it's the same hue. There we go. See how that's coming along? I like that. And you can see the sail in behind is a little bit different color because I'm adding more red to this. And that sail behind, you can just see right there, which is part of this, looks a lot browner. As does this one now. And just one last one here. Yes, much better. Much better. Just want a little bit more on this other sail too. So yes, I do talk to myself. In fact, this is probably great practice, talking to myself when I'm doing my YouTube stuff. Yeah, that's going to be better. Just a little bit more red. You guys do that? When you're making something, you just talking to yourself and saying, okay, is this working? Do I need to do a little bit more of this? Maybe not. Maybe so. Talk in your head. I will do that too. That's what happens when I try to drift off to silence. But I'm trying not to do that while I'm doing this with you guys, because I don't know. That's not necessarily what you're here for. You can't hear what I'm thinking, so I'm trying to think out loud about what I'm doing and what I'm trying to accomplish in this moment. Yeah, you kind of have to do that. So I hope you guys are out there giving me some thumbs up, please. I'm actually trying to get monetized. I really would like. I've got just over 1,000 viewers now. I think it's at 1025. But I need to build up my my watch hours, so I'm really trying to get on here and do a live at least once a week. And what I do will depend on you if you're interested. Right now we're doing this. And that's coming along. I like that. There we go. And just this sail, or this section of the sail. Put that down a bit. There, yeah, I like those. Like those. This one right here. Brighten that one up just a touch. See, once you get going, you can't stop. You just keep seeing that. Gotta build that up, build that up. Okay. My creaky chair. There we go. There we go. That's better. Those stand out a lot more than those now. Yes, it's yeah, building up watch hours and you can be monetized to get ads on your channel. Hey, I'm not looking to make $1 million, but I figure you got a lot of small streams of money income. It all helps. It all helps. So, and I'm I don't know where you guys are, but I'm in that boat. So, alrighty, where are we at? 11:30. 11:30. I got another half an hour. I got another half an hour before I can go. So let me see. What shall I work on? I think I'm going to do some work on the water. Maybe I'll add some color in here and we can keep talking. So going to take a different brush though. I think this one will be the one I want because I want to be able to loop it a little bit. And I'm going to take a couple of colors here. There's a lot of my blue is gone. Whoops. A lot of my blue of this is gone. So I'm just going to put a cerulean blue in there too. So I can have a little variety. Yes, I was a teeny tiny YouTuber for a very long time, Fire Horse Art, and the more you do, the more you do, the more you talk to people, the more that happens. So that's kind of the philosophy that I'm working on right now is just trying to do a little bit more on my channel so more people will come. And I'm just going to try and get a little bit of these painted in. I will probably go over this with some white gel pen at some point. Towards the end for sure. But right now, I just want to bring some of this color in here. I am using some water to extend it into some of the other areas. Really? Yeah, that's some good coloring books, isn't it? G Pam's Marathon Lives. I'm not sure who G Pam is. Yeah, be consistent and engaged. That's right. But, you know, there's a lot. Devin, you have a great channel. And I don't know if you're, oh, Ginger Pam. Oh, okay. Uh, um I don't know if you're monetized or not, but you know, you've got a lot of people that watch you for your specific skill. And in case you don't know, some of you, Devin Rex for Art. You see her as at Devin Rex 4, but her channel name is Devin Rex for Art, and she does a lot of gel printing, which I have tried, not successful at, but I've got a couple of prints that I kind of like. So, oh, a travel vlog channel. That's good view. I kind of, all my stuff I just still keep on here. I've got some, like I got my Mexico trip on here. Just different things that I've seen. It just wasn't, at this point in time, worthwhile having multiple channels for multiple interests. You know, most people are like me. You got more than one thing. You were cussing too much. IT. Oh. Oh. Yeah, well, you know, if you're not putting up anything, yeah, your subbies will leave. That's for sure. But you know, I work a few hours a day. I work 4 hours a day now, semi-retired. I I found myself not doing a heck of a lot of stuff. So what happens now is I have to go out in the morning, so that helps. I get up, I get dressed, I get ready to go to work for 4 hours, and then on the way home, I can stop at the grocery store or do some thrifting. You know, gets me up and out. Otherwise, sitting in your chair in front of the TV can be way too easy at times. Especially if you're lost in a lot of thoughts. They want the cussing. Yep, that's right. Just keep talking to people there, Firehorse Art, and you'll meet people on other channels, and hopefully they'll come and visit you too. You know, don't be rude. Don't be going and trying to swipe people, saying, hey, I'm over here. You know, just go and talk on when the people that I are on. You know, I can't make it so that, you know, I'm not on when everybody's not on. That makes it's difficult. It is truly difficult because sometimes it's just, you know, this is when I'm available and I don't have other time, which is like right now, so to speak. I had some time this morning that I could come on before I went out and did my modeling job. And yeah, I'll show you my hair when I get back. I'll give you a good long view. A view for view and a view for Devin. Maybe I'll even post it. Like a single post. Yeah, that's a lot of it. That's a lot of it. Most people are really nice. You don't really get a lot of nasty people. Sometimes you get people you kind of wonder what they're asking you. because you don't really understand what they're saying. But yeah. Probably not. We're probably going to take, Devin, we're probably going to take that southern route because Oliver is just north of Osoyoos, and you can see the United States border from Osoyoos. So we're going to go kind of south through Calgary in that route there. Hopefully it'll be, it's a 13-hour drive. But you know, when I ever get to Edmonton, I intend to look you up. But I'm going to do that a separate time. Oh, Lori. Oh, bye, Lori. Sorry I missed you there. Have a good day. But yeah, one of these days we will get together. If you're ever down in Saskatoon, you need to let me know. Yes, Soyuz is gorgeous. Mom and Dad live in Oliver, so Oliver is kind of like right in between Penticton and Osoyoos. Right in the middle of wine country. That's where I would love to move to. And I got my mortgage coming up again. So I gotta decide what kind of a rate I'm gonna look at. I don't know that I can do a 1 year closed. Like I could if I wanted to, but I'd like to, but I don't know that I'd be out in a year. I'd like to be out before my next mortgage renewal out in BC. I just yeah, haven't done a lot to get that moving. Yeah. Do a little bit under here too, just to reinforce some of this blue. Yes, that's the plan, Lori, or Devin. Sorry. Yes, because basically he cannot live alone. For those of you that may not know, my son has epilepsy. Basically, highly functioning, but cannot drive. He isn't working. He's collecting medical insurance due to his condition. And yeah, I wouldn't want him living on his own, because when things happen with him, things happen fast. And they're not usually very good. You didn't know that? Oh. Lots of things you don't know. I don't talk about a lot of that stuff necessarily. Try to keep it light. But yeah, that's the plan. I'd love to be able to find a nice place. Like I got a big house right now. A side split. So he kind of has, you know, the downstairs, and I've got the upstairs, and then we meet in the middle of the living room and the kitchen. And that works out good. But yeah, I'd like to get something similar. So like, you know, maybe a small rancher with a basement suite maybe for him, you know, so he can have more of a separate life. because he is a full-grown man. He's not a child. There, see how that's just that little bit of extra color is just define that edge a little more. I like that. I'm going to come back and do a little more with that too right now on the other edges. So I want a little up in here. I think that's supposed to be boat, so I'm going to leave that. A little more there. Again, just kind of adding some color. And here I may end up doing a lot of white gel pen on top of the blue, which will make it stand out. Yeah, families, you know, you look after each other, right? And now that my husband's gone, you know, we kind of do look after each other. He does all the outside work for me. Actually, that it'll be 2 years on the 11th. Yeah, not just a few days. Still think about him every day. Doesn't hurt quite as much because, you know, I've had to go on and make a life. Gosh, you guys are learning a lot about me today. Caught me in a pensive mood. Thank you, View. Well, maybe not all families fire horse, but you know what? There are different kinds of families. Some families are just your friends. Some families are actual genetically named family type. And others are just, you know, it's the family you make. So, might not be the one you're born with. But yeah, gotta make your life, make your family. Because if you don't do it, no one's gonna do it for you. Don't put your brush in the coffee, girl. You like the families that you make better? Yep. Bring them all in. Bring all of your loved ones in and make one big happy family, you know. I'm just starting to add some texture to my water here. Texture? Well, yeah. Because it'll look like ripples in that by the time it gets finished. I'm just gonna try and use it. Go back down this edge one more time. Deepen it just a little more, because this part to me looks like it's going to be more in shadow because it's the under part of the crest of the wave there, from how I'm interpreting it. There's a little tiny little flip from the drawing that I'll go around. And if you notice, I'm bringing my brush mostly that way because water is somewhat flat. Even though this is there, that's under the water. Thank you, Firehorse. Now I'm calling you Firehorse. Is that okay? If you'd rather have me call you by name, you just need to tell me what it is. I don't think View's ever told me her name, though. I think might be Pam. I don't know why. I think I heard her talking about a Pam one time. Okay, well, you take a break. I'm actually going to be, yeah, Firehorse, good, good. And you take a break. I'm actually going to be taking off here in the next few minutes because, like I say, I got to get ready to go get my hair done. Be a model on a TikTok video for my hairdresser. You take care and we'll see you there. Oh, is that your real name though? Okay. Pamela? Pammy? View. All right. Bye, Firehorse. Just like I say, I'm just actually just going to finish off this little bit down here. And then I'm going to say goodbye to all you lovely people and go get myself ready to go. And then we'll see you when I get back a little later on. There. Looking good. Alrighty. I don't mind calling you just View, but like a... Okay, that's great. You know what? My brother's name is Peter. He hates being called Pete. So he's always a Peter. And that might be the same with you. Ah, okay. I see. Alrighty. You know, your nickname is Pete. Oh, okay. Okay. And then Devin, I just call Devin because that's kind of what everybody calls her. And you would hate to be called Pete. Dude, well, that's not your name. Oh, dear. Well, I'm going to go, you guys. I hope that you all had a great time while you were here visiting with me and maybe picked up a few tips and tricks. I will continue with this maybe later this afternoon if I can get back. And I'm glad that you're here. So make sure you give me a thumbs up before you leave. I'm going to process this video and then I'll be getting it out for other people to take a look at. Well, thank you. Yes, I will enjoy it. And yeah, so thank you again, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye now.